Hello, I'm Erica Hargreaves, and this is Linus, and I am fortuitous enough to be one of the 2021 ETEC Trust Award winners, of which I am exceedingly thankful for. The project that I'm developing with this award came from a gentle nudge from a Juno Beach Center board member, and she was hoping that with my cross-platform storytelling that I could come up with some different ways that would engage school children today, and specifically Canadian school children today, with stories from World War II. So that took me on a little bit of a journey, and I went and visited Normandy, France, and the Juno Beach Center there. And for any of you who have been fortunate enough to visit the Juno Beach Center, you will know that the way they tell stories within the museum is incredibly rich and incredibly innovative. So I realized that in sort of doing some problem solving and looking at different ways to tell stories from World War II, that wasn't where my expertise were needed. However, as I started to explore around Normandy and to follow the maple leaf trails, which are the routes of the Canadian soldiers throughout Normandy in World War II, I realized that the stories really weren't being told outside of the museum walls. And it occurred to me, wouldn't it be great if through sort of some geotagging, if stories couldn't be pulled up from history via my smartphone or my tablet, and wouldn't it be great if these devices could almost act as time machines and transport us through time, back where we could witness like either a great moment in history or what's even more exciting to me is kind of more of those heartfelt stories of the Canadian soldiers interacting with the local children there in Normandy, as well as with other people there, we've got the technology to do that today. The way I'm sort of envisioning this is to be able to experience those stories through augmented reality through our smartphones and tablets, as well as through historic photos and video, and audio storytelling. And so as I sort of thought about that, it kept hitting me about how such an app would actually also work really well to tell other natural and cultural history stories in places like our parks. And so the video that follows is one that shares what could be done with that sort of storytelling technology to share the story of the meteor crash at Napping Falls in Sudbury.
Recently, I visited Napping Falls, wanting to see the meteor crater there. I'm embarrassed to share that I nearly gave up on finding the crater after looking at the impressive falls without realizing that that was indeed the crater from what is believed to be a meteor crash outside of Sudbury, Ontario, 1.8 billion years ago. Why? Because the interpretive signage looping the parking lot wasn't obvious. What if instead one had an interpretive augmented reality app on one's smartphone and tablet that transported us through time, sharing the stories of this and other places through augmented reality, video and audio storytelling, visualizations of the suspected meteor crash, discoveries of NASA scientists, and even chatting with Group of Seven founder AJ Jackson as he painted the falls. Welcome to Story Steppers, an AR storytelling app to the natural and cultural history of a place.
So in further developing this augmented reality storytelling app, I've begun to apply for grants for some initial augmented reality story installations. And with that, I have been putting together a team of people to work with in the development of those story installations. And so as I sort of get set for all of that and to hopefully get some financing for those initial story installations, I'm further developing my own education in the art of augmented reality storytelling, and the development of mobile EdTech. And so with that, this summer I am sort of studying and experimenting with Unreal Engine. And then in the fall, I'll be taking a course at UBC on mobile technology and open design. And then I'll also be doing a directed studies with Dr. David Vogue on further developing the app itself. And with all of that, one of the a series of the story installations that I'm looking at developing will be with my friend Minami Calvo, who was previously Minami Saito, and that'll be story installations around her family's history and the history of the Nikkei people, who are people of Japanese ancestry outside of Japan. So of the Nikkei people in Canada in World War II. So yeah, so I'm excited to be building all this and to be exploring, creating all of it, and I'm really, really thankful to CNIE and to the ETEC Trust Award for helping me along on that journey. So thank you. Okay, bye from me and Linus.